High Plains Technology Center, turning education and training into workplace success.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
High Plains Technology Center, education at the speed of business. School is now in session.
Good morning. This is Katie Shirley, the marketing coordinator with High Plains Technology Center, filling in for Taylor Burnett today, but he should be back next week. So I have a great guest with me today, Leanne Meyer. Good morning, Leanne.
Good morning.
So Leanne is the multimedia instructor. Is that right?
Right. This is my second year here, so it's been a great year.
Awesome. And before I talk to Leanne, I was just going to throw out a few little other plugs about just what's going on at High Plains. Beginning in February, it is Career Tech Month. So if you're not following us on social media yet, I would say please go follow us, and you'll get a really good idea of what is going on out at High Plains. There's pretty much there is always something going on. But if you follow us online, you'll get a good idea of what a day in the life of a student looks like. And all of these things that we talk about, you'll be able to get a visual to that. So please follow us, and we'll be posting a lot for Career Tech Month of our students and their success stories. So follow us at High Plains Tech Center. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and LinkedIn, and YouTube, and we've got our website, so you can find us anywhere. Okay, I think we're ready to kick off with Leanne now. So thank you, Leanne, for coming.
You bet. And Katie, you do a great job with all of your social media posts and everything. It really keeps everybody informed. We appreciate that.
Thank you. I enjoy it. We have over 7,000 followers now, so that's been fun to watch that number tick up, and it's almost as many followers as some of the metro schools. So I'm always impressed. We're not that big, but we've got great, loyal students and family that always want to see what's going on. There's just always good stuff going on at High Plains. So, okay, first, just tell me a little bit like a synopsis of the multimedia program. What kind of an overview of what your program looks like, and just a high overview of the stuff you kind of dig into.
I think kind of to sum up our program, we do a little bit of lots of things, but anything that you that puts something together with the media, we probably have a hand in that, whether it's photography, it could be drone technology, audio, video, graphic design, all of that put together and putting out some kind of end product. That's what we do in multimedia.
Right. Cool. So a little part of what my job is encapsulates also, but you get to get more into the details and probably a little more honed in on those skills than what I've ever been yet. What are some of the software and technologies and tools that you guys use in your program?
We use a lot of Adobe products, so we use a lot of Photoshop. Premiere Pro is really probably our video editor, but we also touch on some of those that might be free apps.
Right.
That, once a student gets out, maybe they can't afford some of those high-dollar Adobe products.
Yeah.
But those are products like maybe CapCut or
Canva.
Some of those that are really quick and easy that anyone can use, but are an easy and free version.
Right.
That whenever they get out and they get into that world, the real world where they have a job, it's something they can put together really quickly.
Yeah.
But they still, using some of those Adobe products, I'm teaching them those design skills. And then they can modify some of those free products.
Right. And as a professional in this actual field, I would definitely say what you're teaching them, it lines up perfectly with what they actually do. And as myself of just a one-man show trying to cover all areas, I have tapped into those free resources, and we do have Adobe. But for my time saving, I don't have all week to just sit there and design in Adobe and Photoshop. So I need it to be quick. And so learning how to utilize Canva, CapCut to get the efficiency, I think that's wonderful that they're learning a little of both, because both will probably be used.
Right.
So.
And I really think that if they're really going to make a career out of maybe video editing, they do need to know
Right.
those. They've got to know Adobe
basic skills, yes.
But if they're going to go out, maybe they're taking my class just for fun or whatever, and they're going to go out and they're going to be in education.
Yeah.
Then they need to have different skill sets.
Right. Yeah. And we always are marketing ourselves, so it's nice to use those
Absolutely.
tools. You know.
In any career you're
Yeah.
going to be using,
Yeah.
you're going to need to be marketing. Social media is so huge.
Yeah.
It's great to have some of those skills anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you say so far this year, which I can't believe we're already halfway on
I can't either.
over on the other side.
Unbelievable.
What has been one of your most exciting projects you guys have done within like the community this year?
I think we've done so many cool things. I think this year with some of our community members, one of the probably most fun for our kids. I don't know so much for me because I probably took a huge fall while I was out there.
Yeah.
But we
Oh, now I think I know what you're going to talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
We one of my students had made contact with Boomer Skate and the owner Julie and got together with her, and he made a promo video for her.
Yes.
And so all of our students went out and they were kind of the I guess talent.
Actors.
Yes.
What are those extras?
Yes.
In the
Yeah.
scene?
So they skated and she had us out to skate so that we could video some
Yeah.
during the day.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a lot of extra people out
Yes.
in the evenings.
They're
And
very
so that
fun.
was a really, really fun project for
Yeah.
our students.
The video is awesome. Have we shared that, by the way?
I don't know if we have or not.
I don't know. I think we were waiting to hear back. So watch for that on social media because it is a great video. I was really impressed with his, and then actually doing everything you need to do and then executing it and getting to see a finished product is really cool.
And it was a really fast turnaround too,
Yeah.
which is, again,
Part of the life.
Absolutely. They've got to
Yeah.
understand a deadline and how quick it may be to turn around. And, they're not in my class really that long.
Yeah.
2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours a day. And so if that seems like a long time, but
Yeah.
it really isn't whenever you're putting together a pretty big project
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Another really fun thing that we did, some of my students, Nathan Holliday invited some of my students out to work with him on a video shoot. And
Right.
it was really, they got some really cool experiences.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And that commercial that they ended up doing for them was pretty neat. So that's an industry, that's a job right here locally that a student in multimedia could do, is something like what Nathan Holliday does, and that work with Barbara Dyson.
Yes.
Is that what?
Yeah.
So that's neat.
Right. And we had some of our students also go out to Vance this year and took some photos for
Yes.
them and some video to help. And they used in some of their promotional and some of their social media posts,
Yeah.
which was really cool.
And that's something for you listeners to keep in mind. If you have a need of anything with multimedia, we are always looking for ways to support our community and get our students in real life scenarios and communicating with real businesses and making those contacts. So reach out to us at High Plains. Leanne Meyer is the multimedia instructor, so we'd love to help you out with that project.
Yeah, we've got some students. I think they're are going to be working with some local businesses with some of the drone footage for them,
Nice.
so they can really hone their drone and their piloting
Right.
skills.
That practice makes perfect. So tell us a little bit more about the drone portion of your program.
So it's really exciting, and we've got really probably 4 or 5 students that are super excited about getting their drone Part 107 certification, which means that they take a test with the FAA, and they then will be able to fly a drone commercially, which
Nice.
means that they can charge
Yeah.
for that. And there's a lot of rules basically that goes
Yeah,
with it.
I would
But,
imagine.
Yeah, so there's so many industries that are needing drone pilots now. I
Yeah.
mean, from wind to oil and gas to real estate, obviously
Agriculture.
agriculture.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I think the opportunities are just
Endless there. Yeah.
endless.
And is this the first year that you have that certification or last year?
So last year we started the program,
Okay.
and then I'm hoping that some of my second-year students are going to be ready to take that
To take
test.
that. Cool. Well, that's awesome. And just another thing we're always doing at High Plains is pivoting with whatever our industry needs, whatever the jobs are, and whatever the services are needed. So there's a certification out there we need to add. We just do it.
Absolutely.
So, that's awesome. Let's see. What about some of your, what do you do on kind of helping with your students' soft skills? Let's talk a little bit about how you help grow those areas.
I really think, and I mean, you know this, that's probably one of the skills set that's most lacking, I think, oftentimes in our youth today. And so for me, I really focus on that.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that we do that, of course, when my students come to my class, one of the things I tell them is I'm probably going to force you outside of your comfort zone.
Absolutely, yeah.
And one of the ways that I do that is that I make them go out and interview other instructors or other students. They have to go out and talk to people.
Yeah.
And I teach them how to shake hands. I teach them how to talk to people, how to make eye contact.
And the thank you cards. You've done so good teaching them that.
Yes, I teach students how to write a thank you card, and then we write thank you cards to people.
Yeah.
I just think that's a skill that is missing.
Yeah.
People just don't do that much anymore.
Yeah, and it means so much when your students, they even design their own little thank you cards. And each one of them wrote me one after visiting with their class. And that really just means a lot, especially with today. And people just can quickly send a text, thank you. It's still that handwritten note is something. So that's neat. It's the whole student, like Mr. Gaines and Mr. Holt, we always talk about. We're trying to help develop good people with, good character and able to look you in the eye and have a conversation. And
well, I think that regardless of what industry, what career you go into or what a student is going to go into, they have to have good communication skills. They have to have good social skills. They have to have those people skills.
Yeah.
And sometimes they've just never really been taught or they haven't been modeled.
Yep.
And I think that's just huge. It's so important.
Yeah.
And I guess I really kind of take pride in that. I've had lots of people this year, I think, tell me that they can see such a difference in my students from day one.
Absolutely.
Until when they leave, just how they kind of come out of their shell and how much
they're
more
much
confident.
Confident was the word I was going to say. They're speaking to you first, where at the first of the year, you may have been eyes down, like trying to avoid, running into you or conversation. Now it's like you can just tell they're loving life too at school. Like at High Plains, you can tell they're where they want to be and they're enjoying what they're doing. But what are some of the videos you guys have produced this year?
We really, one of the, I guess, fun things, one of the fun ones that I think that we just finished up, Mr. Day, who's our safety instructor at High Plains, he's the wind instructor as well, but he's been wanting to do a safety video for a long time, I think several years. And we've just filmed that so that whenever visitors come in and someone is coming in for a meeting, that there will now be a video that will play and it will tell them, in case of an emergency, this is what you would do, or in case of a fire.
I've gone to other schools.
Yeah, so we
That's
just
awesome.
kind of finished that up. And Mr. Day, he's so busy, it's been kind of hard to get him scheduled to film that. But I've had a student just completed that.
Wow, I can't wait to see that. So we'll probably be sharing that. Do you think we'll share that on YouTube?
It's possible. I don't know. It's not super exciting because it is a safety video, but everyone that comes to High Plains
is going to be seeing that, which is thousands of people all the time.
So one of the things that I really try to do is we do a lot of projects, but we do projects that are going to be useful to them or useful to someone else.
Right.
I'm not big on busy work.
Yes.
So we're going to have projects that mean something, just like that. We want to learn how to do video production and video editing. Then we're going to do safety video that's needed. Yeah.
And that's so cool of being at High Plains, at all the resources you have to pull from, and I love how you have pulled in others to incorporate them in the fun. And so we've always got things to cover at school. So
absolutely. It's been great to work with everyone, which is what's cool about my program.
Yeah.
We get to interact with all of the programs, and not everyone gets to do that. So we get to work with Otto.
That's why I say I love my job I've got the best one because I get to deal with everyone and I'm not just stuck in one little area. And
Absolutely.
So I enjoy that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And my kids get to work with you quite a bit and they love that. And that they've gained a lot of great experience and advice from you too.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for that. Anything else you would want to share about your program? Anything coming up before we wrap up?
We just have some really cool projects that are that we've been working on that I think everyone's going to be seeing maybe here soon.
Okay.
That we're really excited about.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see them. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening this morning, and tune back in next week and catch Taylor. And thank you and have a good day.